Welcome to The View From Here, a podcast where we uncover the turning points, pressure moments, and the identity shifts that shape high achievers into who they are today. This show is for people who've built impressive lives on paper, but now their real story sits in the moments no one sees. The pivots, the breakdowns, the breakthroughs, and the internal rewiring that changes their trajectory. The View From Here is about perspective, the one you earn only by living it. If you've ever looked successful on the outside while privately fighting a war inside of yourself, then Danny Shannon's story will connect with you deeply. On Christmas Day 2009, Danny made a decision that would change the trajectory of his life. Getting sober wasn't just about quitting a substance. It was about beginning of rebuilding his identity through discipline from the ground up. 16 years later, Danny is the founder of Encapsulator, the world's first structured video journaling platform designed to capture transformation in real time, and the host of A Colourful Past Podcast, where adversity, addiction, and resilience sit at the center of an honest conversation. From the outside, you see drive, business growth, momentum, a man who thrives under pressure, but growth doesn't end with sobriety. It evolves. Danny thrives in the arena of building and scaling his businesses, leading, and is working on being the best father he can. At the same time, he's honest about navigating the deeper layers of becoming, particularly around carrying responsibility, learning to hold openness and safety around intimacy, emotional availability, and how to let people in beyond achievement. Success sharpened him, recovery rebuilt him, and now the work is about creating wholeness in his life. This is a conversation about resilience, responsibility, ambition, and ongoing evolution of a man who chose to change his life and keeps choosing it. Danny, welcome to A View From Here.
Thanks so much, Nikki. What a great introduction. Especially we're just talking about my daughter and you said the father. And I've had a really tough month with the business too. So when you mentioned that grit and sort of determination, I'm like it's a struggle.
Drawing on it.
It's a struggle sometimes too, but It's a pleasure. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. And hey, let's start there. Tell us what's been the biggest challenge, because obviously you've overcome a lot, but I think that's the important thing is it doesn't matter how far you come, it's never finished, is it?
Yeah. It's a journey, not a destination, isn't it?
Totally.
Well, look, I've spent the last 8 years. You mentioned Encapsulator. I spent in 2016. If I can just start there, I was sitting in my office, at the desk where I was once a client on the opposite side. I was working in a rehabilitation center, which is quite bizarre. The same rehab I went through as well.
No way.
And I was sitting there one day. I was about 6 years sober and I was reflecting on, I wonder what it was like to be on that side of the table. What was I thinking? How was I feeling? And I came up with this idea, this concept to record a video to my future self for my 10-year milestone. That was the idea, and which was quite ambitious at the time too, because, they say in recovery it's just for today and, don't project too far into the future. But it's also very important to set goals and have, goals to strive for. Anyway, I did a little bit of research. I come up with a list of questions on paper. I turned the camera on in another office and I started the camera rolling. I started talking to my future self, which was quite a unique therapeutic process. Have you ever recorded a message to your future self?
So I actually do use that exact process with my clients.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's powerful because some people are really good at writing.
Is that right?
But I find that when you record it, you hear your language, you see the cringes or the mannerisms or the little body language changes. It's so much more powerful, isn't it?
So you get them to do video? Well, guess what? So when we write down, right? So we've all heard about a written message to your future self. Tony Robbins does it as part of his motivational workshops. But we lie between the brain and paper to make the words look a little bit better. Video catches the raw, unguarded truth. Like,
Beautiful.
yeah.
Yep.
So anyway, as I was recording that first video, I thought this would be so amazing for the clients that I'm working with, because they'd always come up to me and say, Danny, like, when's it going to get better? Like, nothing's changed. And I go, like, come on, Johnny, like, you've changed a lot. So I was able to give them these videos back to look at. A couple of years went by and I'd recorded about 200 videos of clients in privately, like we've written a contract that, and I stored them away. And then one day a couple of years later, I went to America. I did this big trip from LA to New York via Florida. I went to Jamaica, and the whole way from LA to New York via Florida, I visited like the most roughest towns, because I was following like 12-step fellowship stuff, right? So as you can imagine, there's low socioeconomical. So I'm in like the Bronx everywhere I went, only short term to go and do a meeting. And I met all these incredible entrepreneurs, all these people who were never given all the like the gifts that I had from the government. Like, I've done 49 rehabs, like 49 rehabs in my time. Over there, you'd be, unless you're really lucky and you're in a good state, you got to have private health care or a good insurance to cover the rehab. Anyway, I seen all these guys hustling. When I got back from the States, I thought, I'm going to turn my concept into an idea. Fast forward now 8 years from that day, I've been on one hell of a journey, and I thought, and I've invested like upwards of like $500,000 into it too. Wow. Most of that through my own hard work and my own money too, but I thought that this is going to be a great success overnight, and mate, it's been nothing of the sort. What's happened is we've developed it from this video message to your future self, locked away in a time lock vault to be discovered at a later date, originally, to now it's an online programs platform where yourself or any coach out there, an expert in the industry, can come build a course, and your participants will use video journaling as a way of learning. So after they watch the training, after they have the live meeting with you, then they jump on and do their activity on my app or on my platform, where they'll watch one more training video, there's some downloadable resources, and they will then record a message. When we verbalize our hopes, our dreams, what we've learned out loud, we reinforce. It keeps us accountable and motivated. Sounds all good in theory, all of this, but I have not being able to really get it off the ground.
Yeah.
And I'm at the lowest point because I've just recently remortgaged my house, like June last year. What are we in? Fucking February, March.
Yeah, just gone.
And I'm just it's been I've got so much faith and hope in this that I'll invest my life into it. I have.
Yeah.
People have said to me, are you going to give up? And I know if people are listening, you're thinking already, like, what a great idea. You could do this with it. You could do that with it. Yeah. Killed my life. I've had meetings in a lot of these big buildings around here. There's the MLC building I can see there, Centrepoint Tower I can see there. I'm down at the Rocks with CEOs of huge organisations around the world, like up on the top floor in their boardrooms talking about Encapsulator. And yet here I am. And they would all say to me too, like it's pretty insane. You swear to God, I'm looking over there at the MLC building, and there's another building here called Aon. It's got a big sign on it, CBRE, another building. There's some of my customers, some of the people who have invested in Encapsulator.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but I'm part of the problem. It's like I'm so good at connecting with all these big CEOs. I can get a meeting with anyone.
Yeah.
And I've got this mad concept that people go, holy shit, who is this guy? Let's give him a meeting. I'm in almost.
Yeah.
But then I can't. It's my kindness. A lot of the time I've just given so much away. And then I am sort of left at this position where I'm at now.
Yeah.
It's funny. Like, you asked me, like, what's going on? That's what's going on.
Yeah. But thank you. Firstly, thank you so much for sharing. And I can
Yeah.
hear the rawness in your voice. I can hear the passion too. And I think that's what people are attracted to. That's what draws people in, because they can hear that
Yeah, it's true.
you are living and eating and breathing what you do, and you're fully committed. You don't do halves. I can't imagine. No.
Nah.
All or nothing.
Yeah.
And that is your
To the
beauty.
best of my ability, anyway.
Correct.
You know?
And sometimes the hardest thing in the things we do is knowing where our skill set finishes and who we need to surround ourselves with to help fill the gaps. And it can be the hardest thing. I'm curious, do you think that that's a similar thing that's led you down different garden paths along your life, where you're all in, but that generosity and that kindness is also what leads you astray?
It's kind of like, you just remind me of a conversation I had with my partner recently. She's a trauma therapist, and she always digs into like where she come from, right? Like everything is about my childhood, right? But it's so funny that you just said that, because my dad, he had like 50 businesses. Like he did everything from making clothes for the police in the Olympics. He imported gallstones for medicine to Philippines. He ran the Coca-Cola Surf Classic, but he could have been a millionaire 100 times over, but he ended up poor. He was a gambler too, by the way, so that'll kill your life. But but I was an addict, you know. But he ended up broke, and he's no longer with us now with nothing. So like, you just triggered that in me, because
there's a pattern.
There's some element of that, you know. And he probably is very, very kind too. He would have been like that, you know.
Yeah. Interesting, isn't it? Interesting how generational patterns play out. And this is the thing, isn't it? Like, I see it often, the people that make the greatest success, but they're their own undoing. And we can blame all the externals. We can blame the economy. We can blame other factors, partners taking half in divorces, kids being dysfunctional, the weather, you name it, we can blame it.
Yep.
But the bottom line is, the one thing we always have the capacity to take and create choice from is
me. Yeah. That's why I said before, I'm the problem, you know. I don't mean to, like, definitely don't say it in a negative way or downplay myself. I'm just super aware.
Yeah.
I'm super aware of my limitations, you know. And I do have an incredible team around me too, who is very limited in what I can pay them to do and stuff, which limits our ability to, keep growing. But it's crazy. 16 years sober. It's the weirdest thing, I'm going to say this, but it's like I enjoy a bit of pain sometimes. Like it's weird. Like it's like I need this, what's happening now, to happen for me to get to the next stage.
Yeah.
Like, quite literally, today, yesterday, the last couple of days has been the hardest times I've had.
Yeah.
In the last 16 years, around financial stress, success stress, recovery, and like family related stuff. That's a whole nother level. Like that's a different feeling, you know. It's not the same emotions, you know. Relationship stress, but as for business, and I guess it's my life. It's the hardest thing I've been through, you know.
Yeah. Is it the hardest thing you've been through, or the hardest thing currently you're going through?
Yeah, well, I've been really lucky. Here's the magic, right? Like, I spent 17 years using and abusing substances.
Take me back there. What the version of yours?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I was a heroin addict who had the obsession and compulsion to get and use more drugs every single day. I spent 7 to 8 years in prison. Stoned pretty much every day. Like, I've got a determination, but I never did it in such a way that I was some high flyer drug dealer and I was always cashed up. It was just always a grind, you know. Everything was always a grind. I mean, I had times where I might be cashed up, but it was always a grind. It was a struggle, and it was I guess I was reflecting back on that to where I'm at today. But yeah, so just to go back on my story, I was a full blown heroin, meth, and I was addicted to anything to change the way I live. Yeah, anything I could get my hands on. I was pretty crazy too. Like, I was pretty wild. I had no regard for my life. I wasn't wild in the fact that I did really bad crimes or anything. Thank God. Even though I ended up in prison for a long time, it was all just for shitty. I shouldn't say shitty, but petty crimes. You know, stealing cars, breaking into buildings, high-speed police pursuits, a little bit of possession, but it wasn't even drug dealing. It wasn't even supply, or it wasn't any violence either. I'm very proud to say there was no violence, but yeah, I was just like an empty shell of a human being. There was no feelings. I had a beautiful mum who taught me. She's the person that you see sort of coming through me now, you know, and my dad for sure too. Like, my dad was a legend. I called him Tony. His nickname was Shonky. I never called him Dad. From the minute I could talk, I believe he told me to call him Tony. So we never had a relationship.
Yeah.
Somewhat. But Mum, I think, and Mum gets a shout out in every single episode that I do, that Mum taught me all these beautiful, I don't know, to be the person I am today, you know?
Yeah. The nurture.
Yeah, all the good stuff. Mum was great. My dad was great in his own way.
Yeah. Battling his own demons?
I don't even know. I was literally, when I say I was stoned for 17 years, I missed from the age of 15 to 34. I completely, like, heroin. I know some people who use heroin they had lives. I'd had no life. I was just literally dribbling the whole 17 years, you know. Because not only that, I was on the methadone for 13 of those years too, pretty high doses of methadone, which I think just made me a bit brain dead. Plus, I had a very serious motorbike accident in 1996 with a bit of brain damage too. Maybe that knocked the memories or the sense out of me too. But
yeah.
But anyway, I'm a survivor too, you know. Like, I went through all of that.
Yep.
Unscarred in the way that you'll never hear me whinge about my addiction. I never, ever, ever. People say all the time a couple of things about me. I'm too positive. I say too positive because it can hurt you sometimes.
Yeah, toxic positivity.
I smile. I'm always smiling. And yeah, and I'm just extremely optimistic, you know, and that is me mostly. Like, when it comes to life and business, that is definitely me. But I think it definitely hurts me too. Like, that's what I mean. I'm the problem too, because it's like I think, it'll just work out, and then here we are. You know, here we are.
But do you think it's that positivity, that optimism, but it's more that you will find a way around it because you've overcome so much. And I'm sure that during that 17 years of challenges, of obviously trying to find your next fix, not knowing maybe where you're going to sleep, all of those challenges that come with drug addiction and being in jail, you had to learn to keep that positivity and that optimism because it's the one thing that you still have to hold on to wake up tomorrow.
Well, if you look at most addicts or a lot of people, they don't keep the positivity. They're bitter, angry, resentful. I'm not saying I wasn't those things, but so I guess I didn't have to. Like, you can't go through all of that and just be bitter, angry, resentful, surviving, you know. I just did it with a smile on my face somehow. Like, a really good example is I don't think I ever once pled not guilty to a police charge, you know, which is actually so stupid because if you're going to plead not guilty to 15 out of 20 charges, you're probably going to beat 10 of them.
Yep.
But I pled guilty to everything.
Why?
Why? Fuck knows. I probably even pled guilty to shit I didn't do because to save the fuss, I hated going to court from the cells. So like if you got to go on trial, for example, from prison, what a fucking drainer. You're up at 5 a.m, they're chucking you in a cell up the front at reception. You got to get into the truck, you got to travel out there, you get hungry all day, it's hard to get a smoke. All this drama where I don't know. And if I'd done it, I'd just put my hand up, all right, I did it.
Yeah.
But I think I don't know where I'm going with that, but I just think it's that positivity can sometimes.
I'm interested though, because you just made a comment, and you've worked with a lot of addicts as well in your work.
Yeah, hundreds and hundreds.
So tell me, if a lot of addicts end up bitter, angry, resentful at systems, at people, and they blame game. It wasn't your MO that got you to that point. Why the difference?
What's the difference between them and me? Yeah, I think it's my mum. Yeah. Strangely enough,
the anchor that kept you.
But something else. But one thing I do know today, sitting here right now, is I know hundreds and hundreds, thousands of people who are clean and living a sober life. You know. The level of happiness and gratitude that I experience regularly, it's the thing that people say, how can you be so happy and how can you smile so much? Like, Nikki, since Christmas Day, you mentioned in my intro, I think you did, Christmas Day 2009, I was about to hand over some money for the last time to buy drugs. And that day, and this is really the turning point of my whole life, I think, because up until that day, I was bitter. I was angry and resentful, and I didn't laugh, and I didn't.
At who?
Well, I'd had 17 years using and abusing at myself, I think. Yeah. At myself mostly. And that day I changed my mind. I thought, well, for the very first time, and this is almost like, this is the moment where you might be able to extract how to get off drugs, because this is the moment where for the very first time in 17 years of using drugs, that I actually took all the lessons that I've learned in the 49 rehabs that I've done, and it all just flashed before my eyes. It was Christmas Day too, so my family's probably in my mind as well. And I thought that day, you know what, if I do this, I know what happens. Like, I know what happens. I end up dead, because I'd lost probably 100 people at that time dead to addiction. End up dead. I end up back in prison, because it won't be long before I'm rotting and doing crime again. I end up back in rehab because I'm such a good little boy. I always go to rehab. But I didn't know what would happen if I just for one time said no. You know, I said, what about we do it tomorrow? And I changed my mind. So an addict in active addiction doesn't change their mind. I'd never done it before anyway. No. That day I changed my mind. I did consequential thinking. I thought about what would happen. And I said to myself instead, maybe I'd just do it tomorrow, you know? And
But you did. Because you can be a lot of all talk, right? Not you, but in the addict's mind, it's like, oh, yeah, tomorrow. Oh, the next day. One more hit, then the next day.
Yeah.
But you didn't.
No, so it was that moment, that pivotal moment where I changed my mind was the last time I even came close to picking up a drug again. I never even fucking come close. There's been times where I've had people, you know, drugs. I've just never come close to picking up a drug again since that day. So it was pretty incredible. I'm not saying it just happened like that. I've worked really, really, really hard at it, you know. But yeah, that was the moment everything started. Well, I wouldn't say everything got positive then, but it was the moment the obsession to use drugs left me.
Wow.
Yeah, and then it was like, oh, fuck, it's me. So the drugs weren't the problem, it was me. The whole time, I thought it was the people, places and things. I thought it was I thought the drugs were the problem. I take the drugs out of me and then I'm still left with me, you know? I'm the problem. I like to say that, and I say it for laugh because I emphasize on it because
it's true.
It's like here I was running for 17 years blaming everyone else. And it turns out it was me.
Hence why you can never outrun it, because you can't outrun your own
Because
shadow.
everywhere you go, you take you with you. It's like, oops,
Correct.
there I am. Wherever I go.
Look in the mirror, there I am.
Yeah.
Look behind you, there's your shadow.
Yeah.
No, I love that. I think that that's a really beautiful thing. And I want to double down on that, because if we go back to the start of our conversation where we were talking about your online journaling program and what's stopping it, and you're like, it's me.
Yeah.
It's probably me stopping it.
Yeah.
But if we look back to that period of time, 2009, and the grit, strength and determination that you drew on in that moment to overcome what so many don't. 49 times you didn't.
Yeah, for sure.
I want you to think about that strength and energy that you used then and bring it to today. Think of all the new tools you have. Think of the community that you've created. Think of the person and the version that you are today who is worlds apart from that one that had the strength to change that. Imagine putting all of that into today's version to create what you are. You can overcome this.
Yeah.
There's no ifs or buts.
No, it's fact. It's
just
fact.
turning.
Yeah.
It's just tweaking, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And which I guess brings me back to the idea that, like, this isn't the end. This is just that moment that I have to draw in all of that strength.
Yeah.
And amazingly, I have been for the last 2 days. I think I've sent more emails the last 2 days than I have in the last 16 years. But just pulling out the big guns, I was just on the phone to my good friend Gaz Wright on the way here too. He's someone who I've been on this journey for a long time, and he's built this incredible, I'm going to say almost like empire with his 9D breath work, the Hope Cartel, So and actually I've never asked anyone I don't ask many people for help.
Why?
But I'm asking for help at the moment.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I can do it on my own. And it's weird. It's like I will look, asking for help. That's how I got sober for 16 years, through asking for help. I have this online presence as well, which is really quite this is really quite bizarre. I don't know if I can completely work this out, but who I am online, and by the way, online I have almost like upwards of, say, 650,000 connections, followers, whatever. That person there, it's me entirely, but it's definitely not the same person you're going to meet. Even this person now is that person.
Yeah.
And you can see I'm being real. But if you get me downstairs, outside of the cameras, I'm a super private person. I'm extremely, extremely private. And this is what I mean, like, fuck me how it works. I don't know how it works. I think ultra ego is the word that maybe that I put it. I don't even know what that means exactly. But so the problem is when I'm in the privacy of me doing business or making calls, it's not really this person. It's another Danny. Maybe it's the Danny who's not as confident. I don't know.
And maybe that's the gap.
Yeah.
Maybe it's being able to own the version of you that connects so much with the community, has created this beautiful community that goes into boardrooms and owns it.
Yeah.
But you leave them behind so much when you sit behind a desk and you forget to bring them in. But what is it about that person? Because I think that we all have parts of ourselves.
Yeah.
We've got our work persona. Like, people go, oh, that's fake. No, it's not. Because you do have different versions of yourself in certain situations. It's just making sure that it runs authentically through. It's just you show up with more energy when you're online, because a camera doesn't capture quite the essence of a person if you dull it down. And when you speak in person, the visual cues are richer, they're stronger, the distance isn't as vast. And so you don't need to be so big, bold and loud about it. So you tone it down a little bit and you read the room. If you're with somebody who speaks softly, you speak softly. You mirror.
Yeah.
But I wonder when you're on your own behind a desk, you don't have the energy or the mirror to read, and that makes you go back into that shell kind of thing.
Yeah.
And lose the confidence. You said it, lose the confidence.
Yeah.
So fascinating.
Yeah, it's I don't think it's actually an angle that I've ever really looked at. Funny that I said that out loud, but yeah, it's cool to
It's super
think
cool
about that.
Yeah.
It's cool to think about that.
It's like I worked with a lot of athletes, and one of the things that they do when they go on a big stage, big game, you know, could be 100,000 people watching on, and they've got those pressure cooker moments where, you know, the whole game could be won or lost on them making that goal. And that's a lot of pressure. But if you project and think of the future, you cause your nervous system to overstimulate, overreact. You lose focus and clarity, and you start making mistakes because you can't make correct decisions banked on facts, because it's fear now leading the way. And so what you do with them is anchor them in things of the present. And when they anchor themselves in their present, they take themselves to their happy place, their calm place, whatever that is for them. It's only like what you need to do in that business moment is, what's the happiness that it brings you when you're around the people you get to help? What's the happiness that it brings you in the journey and the things that you've created, or spending time with family, or it's drawing on that energy, that kind of ingredient, and bringing that into the hard stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe. And it's so true. Like when I'm like at home or in the office behind the desk, it's, although sometimes I get really pumped. I definitely do get really pumped, but then there's times when I feel really kind of like flat. And I think it's those times when I feel flat. I think, it's definitely something for me to think about. I can do that. Like I can visually remind myself of that from now on. I think it's something I will do, you know.
I love that.
Yeah.
I can see how rich you are in self-discovery, and I think that's been the missing formula that a lot don't have. Is your self-reflection, the comfort you've obviously got now with the work you've done to sit with yourself.
And it's so closely aligned to Encapsulate, because that's what it is. It's a self-reflection tool. It's like saying your stuff out loud. When you say it out loud, you hear what you said, and it kind of like brings it to life. It takes the power out of it, and it allows you to say it again, maybe to people, you know?
Or see it with a new lens, like see it in a different perspective.
Yes.
Create discussion around it with yourself.
Yeah.
Because when we keep something in our own head, as you know, we ruminate on it. We lose clarity around it because our brain naturally looks for negative resources to support why you can't do something, why it's a bad thing, why you're bad, or whatever it is that you're going to ruminate on for your own negative self-talk. But when you communicate it, you start to hear, see, and feel all the other elements that surround it. You're like, hang on a second, that actually isn't true. And then you look for facts. When you can't find those facts to support that negative rumination, you start to go, well, what facts have I got for the alternative?
Yeah, true.
Like what we've literally just done.
Yeah.
You told me you walk into boardrooms and you've got this.
Yeah.
You've helped so many people overcome adversity.
Yeah.
You helped yourself.
Yeah.
When 49 other times people tried and they couldn't help you.
It's like when you put me on the spot, or when I put myself on the spot, I can perform. That's when I perform the best, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, for example, when I'm at home feeling flat or whatever, and I run a group every Wednesday night. So 7:30 it is. So 7:20, it's just like, Danny, no more fucking, you got no choice. Drink your coffee, we're on. And then I just completely change. I turn into Danny Shannon, the coach who's helping these people. Yeah. And I'm usually pumped for an hour after it as well. But I can feel quite, and I think
it zaps you.
Yeah, I think it's pretty normal in life too, isn't it? You have to pump yourself up for everything we do.
Sure.
Psych yourself up, they say, Got to psych myself up. But I'm really good at psyching myself up when I have to. Even in the toughest times, I just remember that if I can get off drugs after 17 years, I can do anything, And if I can do it, so can you.
Yep. I love that.
That's my message,
I love that.
Yeah.
And really, when we look at lots of things that people are doing, like you hear it every day online, don't you? How they'd started a business and it was the hardest moment and they were so close to giving up, and then one thing just made them keep showing up, keep being consistent, keep being disciplined, and now they're where they were going to be and hoping for and whatnot. But I think that's the thing, isn't it? It's all the lessons you're learning now, the appreciation you have, the gritty stuff that makes you realise why you're still showing up, why you want it so badly.
Yeah. And I always think and I'm sure I've already come past so many milestones, but I always think I'm into the future. I'm thinking about the day Danny was having this massive struggle, like this moment right now, the moment I was just on the phone to Gaz about. I already see that in my future, me looking back on it without even being there. It's like that's going to happen. That's going to happen,
Yeah, I love that.
It's crazy.
I love that.
Yeah, I love it too.
So tell me, what are your whys in life? Obviously family is a big part of your why. Yeah. What drives Danny to pump himself up at 7:30 on a Wednesday night? What gets you out of bed in the morning? What's got you through? You said your mum as well. So obviously family is big.
Yeah, look, I'm not a big family person. I mean, my daughter, my daughter lives with me half the time. I'm not someone who does a lot of family events and stuff. Like I'm quite
private.
Yeah, private. But what drives? But I mean, I show up. I definitely do what needs to be done. And the relationship I've got with my daughter, and I've got a 23-year-old son as well. So our relationships are very special to me, of course, But I'm not. So one thing I learned about myself, I'll tell you this, is when I got sober, I used to hang around a bunch of people regularly, and I'd see them. I'd go to coffee shops, and they used to shit me, but I'd see them interacting and they were having fun and laughing, and they were going to bands and stuff. And over the years, I started to understand what I like, what I want, what I need, and equally important, what I don't like, what I don't want, and what I don't need, And 16 years later, so say it's the first 2 years of a big change like that, maybe you've got to be open to, and I've always got to be open, but maybe you've got to be open that you'll get better at this or you'll understand what you want. But I think down the track today, I'm pretty sure of those things, kind of, like I know what I need and what I want and what I don't want. And I guess, one of the things I've learned is that with myself, I like small communities of people, even though I've got a big...
I was going to say, it's ironic, isn't it?
Yeah, it is ironic.
But it's behind a screen.
Yeah, it's so different. I can't stand... Yeah, I think I'm actually really selfish. I think I'm really self-centered. It doesn't appear that way to the outside people, but probably to my partner, to my mum, maybe not my daughter yet, but I think I am quite self-centered as well.
In what way?
It's crazy to say that out loud.
Because you like what you like and...
Well, yeah, it's like my way or the highway sort of thing, which is very selfish.
Do you think you've always been that way, or do you think that's the new version of you, owning that?
Yeah, no, well, if you look at my drug use, it was all about me then too, But I'm definitely capable, so in this world, I believe there's certain things, it's etiquettes and there's certain things you have to present. Sure. If you want to be successful, if you want to be a good person, I think you have to do certain things, and I do those very happily, and I love to do those things. But if it's my time, solitude and isolation, two big differences, and I love I love my solitude.
And what does solitude, Danny, look like? Like, what does that mean to you, and what do you do in those times?
I think one concept would be I'm at the gym every single day. I have been for like 13 years. There's not many days I would have missed. People always say, can they train with me? I'm very lucky, I guess, if people want to train with me, but no, I don't want to train with you.
Yep.
You know, so the gym is one place that I have my solitude. And at the end of the day, it's the beginning of the day and the end of the day, I sort of,
Do you think that's because you're high energy? So when, like you said, when you show up, you're on, you give your all, you're very present with those people around you. So it's not necessarily that you're selfish, but I think that you need to be selfish to be selfless.
Yeah.
Because if you're not prioritizing you and your energy and your values and your health, well-being, how can you show up for anyone? Then you're just drawing from an empty cup. So the solitude is you recharging with boundaries and safety and groundness so that you can show up.
Yeah, definitely. It's really good for me to hear myself say this stuff out loud. I'm having all these little realizations, you know, just on how I could be better. On how I could be better at it.
What came up?
Well, so the way you just explained that actually sounded like quite nice. Actually, like it actually sounds like, oh, Danny,
he's a good
recharges. He takes time out for himself. He's selfless during the day, but actually, it's more of a like I'm just realizing how selfish actually I can be. And I'll tell you where I'm noticing it the most with my partner at the moment, right? So I guess it's like so I've been single really for 16 years, no long-term relationships. There's been a bunch of relationships, but the one I'm in at the moment is one that I like to keep, you know.
Good. That's good. But she'll be happy to hear that.
But yeah, it's like I see how the last 16 years has been focused. Like I've focused so much on I need to be okay that I really don't know how to. And I'm so good at making you feel okay because you're not an intimate partner. I'm so good because it's easy. I can give yourself because I can also cut you off when it's time to go. Sure. But in a relationship, it's 50-50, you know. Mm-hmm. And I really need to learn to be 50-50. And a lot of the time I think it's more about, I don't mean for it to be more about me, but I just think about my needs.
Yeah.
I try and think about their needs, but it's just the realization that I'm having, and I think it's a bit of a product of me being so independent for so long. Mm-hmm. Like, just one example that means a lot to me is I was a leech on society from the time I was born to 34 when I got sober. Yeah. And since I got sober, I haven't asked for 1 cent from anybody, you know, not like.
That's why you don't like help.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So up until that time, my poor mum financially supported me and my son. So my mum ended up with custody of my son. But since the day I got sober, pretty much, like as soon as I started working as soon as I got out of rehab. I started financially supporting both my son, my mum, just little bits, but not taking anymore. Yep. You know, and you know, I have built myself, you know, life where I've travelled the world. I bought a house. It's a small little investment property that I just remortgaged and spent all on Encapsulator, but still, like nothing has been given to me. You know, like and. So where I was going with, when it comes back to my intimate relationship, I'm selfish because I've done all that myself. I haven't asked you for nothing, so don't ask me for nothing almost. It's a shitty, I need to snap out of that. I want to snap out of that.
Yeah. But that's just a perspective.
Sure,
I think that you will find, again, with a lot of high-functioning addicts, recovering addicts, people who are exceptional, especially entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
There is a selfishness about it.
You have to
because
be,
you have to be so fixated, relentlessly fixated, which is what we're talking about, is that relentless drive to keep showing up even when it's so hard that you'd like to be sitting in the corner probably rocking yourself, but instead you're going to get back up and keep going.
It's like I don't even want to be sitting in the corner, but it's that relentless. I know that would be lovely, but I'm not going to go there.
Yeah, but then the next person who hasn't got that drive, hasn't got that persistence, probably would go and lay in bed.
Yeah, 100%.
And that will be the difference.
And die. They would die, yes.
But it's how do you find that happy medium in a relationship?
Yeah.
But I always, obviously, that's what I work a lot with high-functioning individuals. The biggest thing I always say to them is it's a two-way street.
Yeah.
It's on your partner
yeah.
to create the communication boundaries and values.
Yeah.
To your boundaries, values, and communication. Because if you're the one self-blaming and trying to take responsibility for all the selfishness and the things that you do wrong, it's like, cool, that's great, work on you.
Yeah.
Then that's part of them going, well, I've got to stop letting them take so much and start putting some
good. If you put
people
it
in
that
a
way.
relationship. Like you said, 50-50.
Yeah,
so it's not just all on you to do the work.
Yeah, that's true. And she is selfless, but in a way what you're saying is maybe she's being too selfless. Maybe,
She gives.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
Yeah. But that's interesting how that we do that.
Yeah.
And I just want to double back. You made a comment about money. You don't like asking for help. So do you think that that's also a big thing that filters through everything you talked about? Relationships, work, doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But you said I leached off society for such a long time. I've never asked for anything. I'm really proud. I've never asked for anything since then.
Yeah.
I've given where I could. But that's maybe the hard part in business when you're asking and building something as big as you are.
Yeah.
It's kind of the contradictory thing, isn't it? You've got to ask to get help.
And you not only got to ask, but you got to feel confident in asking too. And I don't.
And why are we asking?
Yeah.
It's like for the bigger purpose.
Yeah, look at all the value I add. But, in some really
twisted
way, I feel like I don't have the value. That's why I can't ask.
There it is.
It kills my life. This is the story of my life.
It's like the mic drop moment, isn't it? It's like, it's still there.
Yeah.
This is our patterning. Like you've obviously changed and shifted in a lot of areas. Yeah. It's just another rock that needs to be turned over.
Yeah, I need like a bulldozer or a fucking forklift to help me turn it. Yeah.
But it's amazing, isn't it, that I love you've done so much growth and you've come such a long way. Like, let's look at that journey. Years of addiction, you made the choice, you acted on it, you turned it around. You've been building things ever since, yourself, businesses, sustainability. Like, what an incredible story. But it just shows we are still who we are. The work is never done. And I think that's the important thing about creating a sustainable version of it. Because if you think it's just a quick fix and away she goes, it's all going to be great, you're setting yourself up for disappointment.
And it's so good to know that, because that's probably, look, if anyone is listening too, I believe that's almost the key to
staying on track.
Yeah, to like if you can't be open to that, you can't grow. You can't keep, and then you'll be laying on the bed whinging, or in the corner. Yeah, there's. It's
like going to the gym.
Yeah,
you don't go to the gym to lift 100 kgs, and you lift it and then you just stop.
Yeah.
Because if you stop, you lose it.
Yeah.
The gym is a great analogy because you've got to keep working on it. You've got to keep chipping away at it. You've got to keep showing up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So is life.
Yeah. And it's like my ability or motivation to get to the gym every day is very remarkable. Like it's like this. I had a broken leg, right?
You can see the scar.
I've got scar. This poor leg. But I had a broken leg during COVID, all right? Because the gyms were all shut, all right? And I had to go skateboard riding because I built a gym out the back. Anyway, so I snapped my leg in half at 40, whatever it was. And anyway, I had this mad connection for this gym, and I was in there with a broken leg, which is actually quite obsessive, but I had to I function better if I exercise, it's kind of like I used to function better if I had heroin,
We've just replaced it with something.
But
mildly more healthy.
even through all my stuff, you always find me training every day because I think it gives me my best ability to function, which I think
Clarity.
science says that it actually
it
does
does.
anyway.
Correct.
And I don't, so people might say, oh, you're addicted to training, but no, I don't actually ever let it interfere with my life. Like it never has interfered like heroin did either, Or if I got a meeting at 7 a.m., which I very rarely do, but I'll be training at 5 a.m. So, it's not as if I ever I'll skip the meeting because I had to go to the gym. I think that's important for me to. But
it's also proving to yourself, isn't it? Like I always say that if you go 7 days a week, what would happen if you didn't go tomorrow?
Yeah. Well,
and it's knowing that the safety is the world won't fall apart. The world will keep spinning.
Yeah.
If you believe in whatever you do.
Sure.
But the world will keep spinning.
Funny,
the sun will rise.
Yeah.
The sun will set.
Yeah.
And that sometimes it's even great to do it, to remind yourself that you are okay.
Yeah.
And that there's other ways for you, healthy ways.
Yeah.
Go and do your breath work. Go and do your meditation. Do your video journaling. Like doing other things. Because when you understand that the control is always within you, you don't seek the external things so much because they're a bonus, but it's okay.
Yeah.
It's just constantly being reminded.
Yeah,
isn't it?
it is. And it's all about just keep moving forward. Yeah.
Absolutely. But I love your discipline. I love your dedication because I do think it's your biggest asset. I think it's what's got you where you are today. And I have no doubt that we are going to be sitting on this couch in the near future and you'll be like, Nick, I've got an update for you. This is what's happened. This is where it's at. Because you'll have turned that corner.
I look forward to that.
Because it is. It's a beautiful concept that I think I can hear the passion behind it. But like I said, I use it with clients. But imagine having an app that I could give them with some structure and guidance and processing to help them keep moving forward.
Yeah.
To me, what a great tool to have. Because not everyone has the capacity to sit in front of a camera and just start speaking without help.
No, that's why we guide people through programs. And it's funny, like just what you just said then, and I look out here and this is so bizarre. So Encapsulator was born in Manhattan. I was sitting in an Airbnb in Manhattan, basically overlooking the Hudson River. And I like, if there's one of my wallpapers at home, it's actually a big banner across my whole wall. It's got New York and it's got Dream Big 2027 written on it. It's a big collage. I'll show you after this. You can maybe put it into snippet into this, right? But one of the things is it's got Australia in there. It's got a pig head in there as well. People say, oh, do you hate the cops? He's for the trolls, the online trolls. It's got Encapsulator up in the corner. It's got Sober Squad, which is one of my social media brands. It's got my daughter's name, my son's name. It's got my cat Leo in it. But anyway, there's one part of there that's got New York and it's got Manhattan. And it was me sitting, it was literally me sitting in the Airbnb with my vision, And what just came up for me then was, to anybody listening, if you're dreaming, if you're an entrepreneur, I look out here to the city and every single one of these buildings, there's some, I don't know, there's business going on in all of them, And up on the top floor is the penthouse. That's where the fucking boss is, And I just think that's what I aspire to do. I know it feels a little bit, it might feel a little bit, not egotistical, might even seem a little bit like that, but that's what I want.
Yeah. Why do you want it? Tell me why you want it. What does it mean to you?
Because I have an app, right? I'm the founder of this incredible app that I invented, okay? Yeah. It's talking to your future self through on-screen prompt questions which will guide you to explore your thoughts and feelings in a private, confidential space. We literally create precious moments in time that would never have existed if it wasn't for my app. And I say that would never have existed because you wouldn't be answering these questions in the privacy. You wouldn't capture that precious moment in time, One really good example is, God bless, there's been at least 5 people who are no longer with us now who recorded on my app, right? And I was able to give those precious moments in time when they were on their best in rehab to their family members, you know?
Wow.
With their permission. Like, I would speak to the family, I'd gently let them know that, hey, I've actually got this thing of your son that he recorded, when he was on his best, you know? Anyway, so look, a legacy for future generations. This isn't social media where you're just capturing, what I did before in the city. Like, it's the raw, unguarded truth that you're talking about, stuff that would never have happened without my app. I think that's pretty incredible. And not only that, because I've invested like $500,000 of my own hard-earned money, and when I say hard-earned money, like I've taken out loans, I'm in debt. Like, I've worked my fucking ass off for this. So that all, the goal is to be the top 5 mental health and wellness apps in the world, right? It really is a unique platform that I've got. So that, and with Manhattan and American, I say America, and I'm a very loyal and patriotic Australian, but it's where dreams are made of. Like, that's where my dream came to life, you know?
Yeah. But tell me, what would it mean to you personally,
Yeah.
emotionally?
I think,
what does it mean to you if to think about yourself on that top floor of that building?
Really, the first thing that comes is my son and my daughter and my partner, giving them everything. Like, it's like, and I don't know. I guess through all the shit that I've been through, it's all a challenge. Everything is a challenge in my life. And it's like I'd have this enormous satisfaction. And don't worry, when I get there, I want to be, of course, I'm not going to, not the destination.
Yeah. No. Not going to put your feet up on the
at
coffee
the
shop.
moment, it's my, it's just it's my goal. It's my goal, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not going to stop until it happens.
Good.
And even if, and I've been asked this many times, right? Even if Encapsulator went broke, and I lost my house, and I was broke ass on the floor again, people say, well, what if that happens? Or I go, well, I'll just start again, you know?
Because you've done it.
Because, I know I can do it again. Actually, next time will be even better because I'll do it better. So, and that again is like key. So when I bought a house, right, it was years ago, it was like in whatever it was, I just saved up my money and I had enough for a deposit. And all these people kept saying to me, aren't you scared to buy a house? And I'm, why the fuck would I be scared? Like,
Been through worse.
Yeah, like if I go bankrupt, I'll start again. That's always been my attitude. It always is my attitude. And I think that's the difference between, and it's probably why I escaped from prison. I fell out of a 3rd-story window of a rehab, climbing down sheets to go and get on in Cabramatta. And on my way back, I climbed back up like 20. Like, I've done some pretty insane shit. Like, I have no fear. I do have fear. I have a healthy fear. Doesn't sound like it, but I have a healthy fear. But I'm just so driven.
Love it.
I don't like. So when you ask me that question, what will happen when I get there? I don't know. Like, I felt like, am I giving the right answer? But I feel like for me to get there, because me and my family at the moment, we kind of struggle. I want to give my daughter more. I want to give my son more. It's my daughter says to me often because I've got that big banner at home. It says "Dream Big," and because she sees me be this business owner of this app that she knows is very unique. Like, she knows Dad is the inventor of this thing, but then she'll say things like, I put in a pitch to an organisation recently for 1.8 million, right? Yep. And she says to me, Dad, have we got that money yet? Like, things like that. And I try to explain to her, it was never for me. It's for the company, you know. But so I want to be able to say, yeah, babe, we have, you know. Yeah. You know. I don't know.
You want to make her proud.
Yeah, I want to make her proud, and I want to give my mum alive, and I just like my whole family is always just like, yeah, I've travelled the world. I've had it good too, but it's always been a struggle.
You want to get out of the struggle.
Yeah, I want to get out of the struggle, you know?
You want to have a bit of, I guess, flow.
Yeah, I want to I feel like I am living the dream, but I want to live the dream on another level, up there in the penthouse suite, you know?
Because I must say, like, I met your daughter today, and what did I say to you? She is,
she's very
beautiful.
independent.
She's independent. She's happy. She spoke to me. She was engaging. She talked to me about school. Like, she walked in, met me for 30
I taught her all of that, you know?
did. And I want you to remember that the gift that you're giving and the legacy that you're giving, you're already giving it to them. Like, it makes me
100%. I know,
emotional because
I know.
I don't think that you're already giving yourself enough credit. You're showing her what's possible by turning your life around, by buying a house, by backing what you believe, but also creating what you believe, by creating the best life and still striving. You've never stopped, but you're showing her that. And whether there's money, kids don't understand money. They understand what they see in you. And you're leading by example that you're evolving. And I said it in your intro.
It's so
you're
cool.
Evolving.
It's so cool. If you ask her what Daddy does, she'll say, like, I help people.
How cool is that?
I help people get off drugs and alcohol. And I've got an app. And so yeah, like, I know it. Like, it's exceptional what I do have, absolutely. And I made all that. Nobody else. I did all that. But I want more, I guess, yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I want more.
Own it.
That's it, I do own it, you know.
Yeah.
Another thing, it's crazy, I had one business coach, I was just mentioning her name's Paris Hill, not Paris Hilton, my God, Paris, anyway. She said to me years ago, she said, Danny, you want to be famous, you know? And I said, oh my God, Paris. I said, don't be silly, you know? And she said, go away and think about it. And like, in some ways, I would love that. For some reason, I want to, and I've been really lucky. I've been, from that day, I think it happened after that, I've been on Channel 7, I've been on Channel 10, SBS, ABC. I've got a short film being made about my life at the moment by a big film crew. Like, I make all that shit happen somehow, you know? I don't know.
Tap into that.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I am, and you've really reminded me of my big dream, 2027. So actually, 2027, if you go December 2027, that's still 2 years if you look at it like that. I've got fucking plenty of time to make this happen. You know?
I reckon you can do it before then.
Yeah,
I think
good.
that there's something about to shift. My question for you is, you said to me, I haven't thought beyond making it to there. And you're such a big dreamer. Think of all the things you've overcome. Think of all the things you created. You just told me them, quite a few just then. You're always thinking beyond there. Why now are you only thinking to there? What is it that's stopping you from
thinking beyond there?
And you made a comment. I'm going to pull two things. I've mortgaged my house.
Yeah.
I've invested everything.
Yeah.
Where, you know, not struggle. I don't think you use the word struggling, but when we create scarcity and fear, we hinder our capacity. And when we tap into what those, you said, I'm a risk taker. I climb down sheets and I don't have any fear. And then you said, no, but I do have fear. But when we understand what our fear is driven by, and it sounds like money and asking for help and giving back to those that gave to you, when we understand the fear around those things, they no longer have the hold on us, which is exactly what you overcome with getting off drugs. It no longer held you hostage anymore. You took control. But when we understand our money fears and our other fears, they no longer control us. They no longer dictate our decisions because now we see it.
Yeah, I needed to have this chat right now today, you know.
It's funny how it's timing, isn't it?
And it's not even funny. Like, this is how my life works. Everything, I'm a big believer in, I'll say God, all right? Let's just pull out God for a second, right? I'm big, and God, good orderly direction, or whatever it is, right?
Higher power above
higher
something.
Power.
Yep.
I talk to my God every single day, you know, and it's been it's almost like my app, right? Because it's something you can talk to when nobody else is around.
Yeah.
So Encapsulator is like God,
Yeah.
by the way, right? But
if only we're allowed to name it that.
but yeah, like I just have a big faith. I really do have a big faith that I don't know where I was going with that actually. So beyond there, like, so part of my manifestation, my vision
Yep.
is when I said about Manhattan is to actually have an office in Manhattan.
Yep.
So when you said point up there, like what's beyond that, I guess that's just my next step. Yeah, I don't know what's beyond that, but that is an office in Manhattan overlooking New York. We're in a big boardroom. It's got this big table. It's bigger than this room. It's got a big boardroom table. It's got a big encapsulator sign on the wall. And it's me shaking hands with, I see like Chinese people, maybe not Chinese, but I see some kind of Oriental person I'm shaking hands with. Like it's done. Like I know this vision, like it's really...
Now tell me the vision outside of the boardroom. What does life look like outside of the boardroom?
It
Tell
looks...
me, what does it look
All right,
like?
so there's Manhattan, right? All the beautiful lights. There's snow, and there's me and my family traveling in between Australia and America.
Yep.
6 months. It's 6 months in my head, and I guess I'm striving. I'm helping people actually. It's like I feel really satisfied that my invention is helping people, you know?
What does that feel like? Tell
It
me.
feels really good. It makes me, it's all about me giving actually. It's all about me wanting to, it's not even that much about me. It's about me wanting to give to my family and give back to the people struggling. It's about me wanting to make other people happy, you know?
And you said you're a selfish man.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound so selfish to me.
It's like I've got to be selfish at some point, but yeah, I'm selfish in...
To be selfless.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
selfish
confusing,
to be
yeah.
selfless.
Yeah.
Own it.
Yeah.
Because what you are doing, I want you to own it because I can hear and see what you're creating is giving back to many that gave to you.
Yeah.
Maybe when you didn't think you were worthy of it or
Yeah.
you know, weren't being able to be the best version of you. But now you're giving back in hope that you can change somebody else's life the same way that yours has changed.
Yeah.
That is your why.
Yeah.
That is why you're going to get to there. You're going to get to New York. You're going to keep giving to your family, give back to your mum.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible.
It is. It really is. Like the dream, the vision, the goal is very ambitious. And I say that in a really positive way, but it's like it's very ambitious. Like it's huge. It's a big dream, and I'm gonna do it. Like I'm doing this.
And let's be honest, we're only ever one step away from it.
Yeah, I am
taking off.
I'm only one step away.
One step.
I know.
And that could be tomorrow.
Yeah, it really could be tomorrow. Like I've actually had so much evidence of that in my life. Like anything can happen, you know.
It can.
Like look at me here. You know?
Oh, and look, you know, I think the power of these conversations, this is why I started this podcast, is I love hearing people talk about their passions, knowing their whys, but also think about all the little moments you've just had today where you're like, oh, I hadn't thought about it. Oh, that connects to that. It's those beautiful little gold nuggets that we accumulate that when you wake up maybe tomorrow or in 2 days, 2 weeks, whenever it is, and something drops and you're like, that's what I've been missing.
Yeah.
That's the moment. It's being able to talk and communicate and uncover those things that can make the difference.
Yeah, it's so important to explore all that stuff. Otherwise, it's just kept in here and
helping others, because maybe somebody's listening and maybe they've had an idea or maybe they're in the thick of it too, and they've just realised that they don't need to always listen to the external noise and all of the other formulas and processes that everyone else is telling them to sign up for $29 and do this. Like, that's great. I'm not saying it's not. But sometimes it's using those and putting your own spin on it, knowing that you don't have to do all of their sequences, that you can use it as a process and add your own. Like what you're doing. You know, I'm sure that you've seen other apps and you're like, love a bit of that, like that, but none of them are nailing what I'm needing or wanting. And that's why you've done what you've done. You've reinvented the wheel for what you've seen as missing.
Yep.
It's amazing. Best ideas come from it.
Yep, for sure.
So good. So if you could give someone out there a little bit of insight or some bit of wisdom, Danny wisdom, what would you say to them about anything right now?
Yeah, first thing, and I say this all the time, and it is my tagline is never give up. You know, like I guess you can hear my journey today, and it's all about not giving up no matter what, you know, and also too, you know, if you are struggling and if you do feel like giving up, just remember, and I think this is really important, we touched on this, there's no shortcuts, there's no loopholes, there's no fucking miracle magic backdoor entrances. The only way to it, it's up to you, you know, it's up to me. You could, $1 million isn't going to pay for somebody to make you. It's up to me, you know. You have to do it. And I think the minute I realised that was that turning point for me back on the 25th of December 2009, I realised that I have to do this, you know. I have to do this. So I just want to let people know that, if I can do it, anybody can.
So good. And if I could ask one, look, it's so beautiful, and you're right. It's pure gold. If you could think about the phrase "the view from here," what does it mean to you? Has it changed from when I asked you in pre? So we do a questionnaire, more just to understand a bit of your, I guess, emotional understandings and capacity, but has it changed and what is it now?
Well, look, the view from here right now, it's like I've just had the most wonderful conversation with you, you know. It's something I really needed, and often I forget. It's almost like you help me remember how amazing I am, you know, how amazing I can be. And it's like, and even just that banner, Dream Big 2027, I need to stick that out in my lounge room. It's in my garage at the moment, but it's just reminded me, like, this is, what am I, like, what, there's this saying for alcoholics, like, pour me another drink. If you keep going, pour me, you'll be back on it, you know? It is a cracker.
It's really good.
I feel like it was really relevant here, like, the view from here is really good. It's got lots of bumps. It always has have ever since, you know, the day I was born. But I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited. And like I look out here and it's like I can't quite explain how happy, like if it was nighttime especially, so I can't explain how happy this view makes me. I can't, when I say that, like, it's like there's homelessness as well. There's two things. I'm thinking there's the bottom, there's homeless where I was, by the way. I lived just up the road under a bridge in Woolloomooloo. And then there's success too, you know, and I look out at these buildings and there's lots of pain in between too. Like, this is crazy. I'm an overthinker, but I have these intrusive thoughts often too. But I see, funny this has come up, but like I see apartments as well. And I know there's people struggling, you know, people struggling in all of those places too. But, you know, Centrepoint Towers there as well.
And that's the thing. And that's why I asked you your why, is because even at the top floor, some of the most unhappy people have the most monetary success, career success, the accolades and all the things. But if we know our why when we're at this point and we can bring those elements into that point, we don't become the same version of ourselves up there.
Yeah.
We evolve into
I wouldn't want to be that person at all. Yeah. And I've heard about that person a lot. I know that person too. But the view from here is like, it's that, you know. Sydney City, Australia, by the way, like I feel like without going into all the politics and all that, I just feel like I'm the luckiest person alive. I feel like we are. We are
Absolutely.
so lucky.
Absolutely.
So yeah, the view from here is full of dreams. Dream big, dream big. That's another thing I tell people, like dream big.
Yep.
You can do anything.
Yep. And you just dreamed bigger today.
I did. I really needed that.
I love it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, you have been an absolute delight. Like, I have been hanging on every word of what you're going to say. I love your energy. I love your passion. I love your emotional rawness and your ability to be honest with yourself. I think that shows a lot about the journey and the work that you've done. And still,
It does.
and still doing.
I'm
and
an emotional wreck, eh? It's like,
but
I
it's
love,
good.
I like that too. It's
what
me.
we need
it's
more
me,
of.
Yeah, sure.
Otherwise, what we bottle it up and
Yeah.
we act.
Yeah.
We don't.
Yeah.
We can't communicate it. And yeah, I love the passion that you have, what you're giving back. But what has come out for me is all of the depth that you've gained today that I know is going to
thank you, Nikki.
unlock something
I
even
agree.
better than you thought.
Yeah. I really needed this. I really needed the opportunity to really talk about this so much. And because I can talk to my partner, I can talk to Gary, but I generally won't dump too much on anyone. I just don't. But because we did it in this capacity, it's like I really got to, like, it's for everyone's gain here.
Yeah. And it is.
Yeah, it is.
And look, I'm even sitting here hearing parts of what you're saying, and I've had penny drop moments.
Yeah,
so
sure.
Your gift is already giving,
and
it's just across the couch.
I'm just the gift that keeps giving.
Well, you know what? If we can always say, if we can change one person's life, we've
absolutely.
succeeded.
Yeah.
Well, you already did.
Yeah.
And your daughter's here.
Yeah.
She's a product of what you've created in one area of life, and you've done a pretty bloody good job. And I'm sure your partner and whatnot as well, or ex-partner. But it's the community that you're creating. It's what you're doing it for, your why, and I can't wait to see where it goes. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
It's been amazing.
Thank you.